Good morning, boys. I just woke up. I mean, like literally 2, 3 minutes ago. But didn't sleep too well. But that's besides the point. Um, Romeo, Cass, today I want to talk to you about something. I know I sound very serious, but I figure talking about this subject will actually wake me up more because I'm kind of excited to talk to you guys about this. Um, when I was a kid, back in the good old days when you shovel snow off the sidewalk for money while the sun glistens down on your back. Back in the day when you walked uphill to school and walked uphill home somehow at the same time, same day. Love it. This great old stories of when I was your age, you used to always hear as kids. There's so many unbelievable, like I guess, be oxymorons or paradoxes or however I think it's paradoxes that like I said, you can't be shoveling 6 feet of snow, the sun glistening down your back. You can for probably about 10 minutes. If somehow some freak weather happened where snow was there, and then all of a sudden the sun comes out and it's 90-degree weather, and that snow isn't gonna be shoveling. You ain't gonna be shoveling that much, that long. And to walk uphill both ways, to and from school somehow. Um, Crazy stories. How people used to say how their life was, but that's what today is. Today is one of those days I'm gonna talk about how life used to be for me as a kid, so you can compare it to what you have now. I mean, there's the clear, obvious things. Like we didn't have phones. Period. Cell phones. We had house phones, landlines at best. As a youth, I didn't have a landline in my house consistently. Period. I think if you count from the age of maybe when I would actually use the phone. See, back then it was different too. You didn't have no need for using the house phone unless you're talking to relatives. Into probably about I don't know, 14 probably around that age. Remember, this is for 14 for me. That would be middle of the 80s. So, if grandma called or someone, or aunt, uncles. For my situation, dad calling. Then you got a chance to be on the phone before you were 12, 13, 14. And even then, if it's Alice, see now you guys got long distance and everything. I mean, you pick up a cell phone, you can call pretty much anywhere in the world, and literally it's almost the same price. Unless you have a phone plan that doesn't have international, which is about I think about 30% have international, and not usually free, but it's 5 cents a minute or something like that. I remember back in the day, if you called, I could be inside the same state and call outside my area code and be charged long distance. So I could literally be, I'll use Washington, for example. That's where I grew up. I could be in Tacoma, Washington, and I want to call Yakima, which is on the other side of the mountains, and it'd be long distance charge. And they would charge us a pretty good penny. I mean, it could cost that phone call for 30 minutes cost you almost 150 to $100, it seemed like. Um, and another thing you guys don't have, you don't have payphones anymore now. It seems like, if you do, find them anywhere. Um, they ain't a dime, which was the earliest I remember. No, no, no. You got to put in 4 quarters for usually 30 minutes or something like that. Now it's insane. I haven't used one in about 2 years, but the last time I tried to use one, I don't think local calls was. I mean, local calls were an option, but it's like a flat option. You want to use this phone, you pay X amount for X amount of minutes. But that's not what I want to talk about. I was going to talk about and that's why the title the way it is. Saturday morning cartoons. Those are the good old days. Now you have Cartoon Network where you can watch cartoons pretty much anytime until late at night, and then you still get cartoons, but they're Adult Swim. You have Nickelodeon, where I don't even think they show cartoons anymore. It's all these kid shows, and I'm so outdated. I think last time I watched it was and don't get me wrong, make sure I watched it as an attempt to watch it. I didn't I watched it because I had a girlfriend at the time who had some kids, and it was iCarly, Wizards of Waverly Place, stuff like that. Hannah Montana, that stuff was still on. You don't want to know what Hannah Montana's doing right now. She ain't doing kid stuff no more. Hannah's all grown up now. So, yeah, it was. But when I was a kid though, you literally only had 4 or 5 major channels unless you had cable, and then cable was pricey. Still is. That's one. Some things don't change. But cable's more pricey now because you have internet. But back then, like I said, you literally had 4 or 5 channels. It was ABC, NBC, CBS. Those are the big three. And then depending on what area you're in, you might have oh, Fox wasn't around yet. Um, so I think that was the big three, and then you had some local affiliates and stuff. But anyways, the reward for a long week of school, for kids 5 days a week, oh, that's hard. Not although your parents do it every day at jobs usually. But after those 5 days of getting home in the evening, sometimes they have cartoons on. You get home about 3:30, and maybe there would be an hour of cartoons that could be squeezed in because the women who stayed home, the mothers, moms, whoever stayed home, had to they had to have their soap operas. So they watch the soaps from roughly I don't know 10 to 2:30 because that's the window that the soaps would stay on. And every once in a while they'll trickle in a few of those reality TV shows like Jerry Springer stuff. Which again, there's more of those now. I think there's a lot more of every options now, but it was just a few. But they knew the kids get home around 3. University across the country, whatever time zone, this is around 3. So they put in like a hour of cartoons or something. That was about it. But again, if you had the bus home, if you had any after school activities, you missed the cartoons. So Saturday morning cartoons was a huge deal because it was the first time in the week that you actually got to sleep in if you wanted to, which you couldn't use because you naturally get up early, and you probably do that now, boys. If you depending on what age you're when you're watching this, you understand what I'm talking about. But you would run out there, and your parents usually were still asleep because they're tired from working all week. And when you're older, you don't get up normally at the time for work every day. It's a struggle to get up for work. It's just like it is for you kids getting up for school. But the difference is we don't bounce back as fast. We work six to say we get up work 6 morning every morning for work. You ain't catching us out of bed till like 9. That's the when we naturally wake up because our body's resting. You guys get up for school every day. Let's say you have to be up for school for the same time, 6 o'clock. You guys can't sleep past 7. It seems like. But anyways, you get up. You don't have to get dressed. You don't have to deal with trying to impress your friends. You didn't have to worry about going outside. You didn't have to worry about nothing. Breakfast is gonna be a little bit late, and you can accept that because you eat breakfast too early before for all day, all week. But you go out in the front room and you sit down and you turn on the cartoons, and it had which obviously they're not classics back then, but they were classics now. And almost everyone I'm about to tell you right now, you probably was like, who, what? And even then, if you do, it used to be retro. Oh, that old show. My parents used to. Yeah, yeah, we did. Transformers, the original version, not all these 18 different morph versions. There was Transformers, Smurfs, He-Man, She-Ra, Thundercats, and then you had the classics, which was one my favorite was Woody Woodpecker. I love the love me some Woody because he was a little scamp. He always got in trouble. He's like the cartoon version, bird version of Dennis the Menace. He always got in trouble. Little weird fact about him though is he wasn't always that way. Um, it depends on how early in the cartoon series for him. He was a bad guy in the beginning. He was like a little villain, always causing all kinds of havoc. And then they turned him to adorable, cute little scamp. I mean, but almost like it's like most cartoons started that way. I mean, early Bugs Bunny was viciously mean for that time period. I mean, he was nasty. But they all changed into being the good guys eventually. And I know Bugs Bunny. If you don't know Bugs Bunny, I don't know what world you're living in, but I mean, what the world's become, I guess. But yeah, Bugs Bunny, Woody Woodpecker. There wasn't as much Disney on TV then. Disney's mainly stuck with animated features at that time period, so you didn't get watching none of that really. But and celebrities weren't doing all the voiceovers and stuff. Back then, if you did cartoons, it was kind of you did voiceover cartoons. You weren't famous for it. There was no McFarlane's, Seth Green's doing stuff they're doing. There was no I think it's Patrick Warburton, the one who does pretty much every masculine voice. It seems like he's Joe, he's Krunk from the Disney stuff, he's Brock from the Venture Brothers. I mean, the list just goes on. He's an amazing, amazing guy, But yeah, I mean, it was like you didn't know their names, you still don't know their names. I think Mel Blanc is the only one that I even slightly know. But yeah, there was no Simpsons yet. Believe it or not, they're probably still in their 50th season by the time you watch this. But no, there was no Simpsons. There was no Family Guy. No anything. None of that stuff was on. It was just good old cartoon. And you go out there and I remember for the kids who like me, I didn't. My mom, bless her heart, but Saturdays she was off, and as in making breakfast. So Saturday morning, like a lot of kids probably did in America, that my friends I know did, we go in there and we grab that big old bowl, that bowl that's like big as our heads, the kind you can use a wooden spoon in. And we fill it with a half box of cereal and put milk in there, and we just eat a whole half box or almost. And if we're really hungry, we put another, half box or at least half what we had in there because, a lot of the milk's gone because you eat some of it. We still got some of that cereal milk in the bottom, and you got to make it as sweet as possible. So you add a little bit more cereal. You eat that cereal, then you drink that milk, and milkshakes ain't got nothing on cereal milk. I'm sorry, cereal milk is just delicious. But yeah, we used to that was Saturday mornings. I mean, we get up and just watch cartoons for 3 or 4 hours. And the reason why I'm saying this so you guys, so you understand how different times was and how Daddy grew up and what he had. Um, I don't think there's Saturday morning cartoons anymore. I asked someone before I wrote this, before I recorded this, sorry, and I was thinking, I asked him straight, and I phrased it so I can catch him off guard. I was like, and I look at him like Saturday morning cartoons, and they're like, what? It's like Saturday morning cartoons. What are you talking about? So for me, if someone came up to me from I'm guessing, and said the same thing, Saturday morning cartoons, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, oh man, that was a blast. So for the person not to get it, I was like, okay, it's just like it's like there's certain things in society that when you say these words together, someone kind of figures it out. I mean, like, for example, there's hundreds of famous celebrity twins that I could probably go down and list, at least name about 5 or 6 right now off the top of my head, but there's probably hundreds. But when I say Olsen twins, you don't hesitate. Maybe this generation might a little bit, I don't know. But what's funny, if I say to this generation, Zach and Cody, oh yeah, yeah, Sweet Life, yeah, I know who that is. So like I say, when my generation say Saturday morning cartoons, I know some of you guys going who, if anyone watches besides my boys, I know you can be like, ooh, oh yeah, I remember that, yeah. Oh man, even if you're a parent to my generation, Saturday morning cartoons still meant something to you. I don't know what it meant to you as a kid because I still think you guys were working with black and white back then. Yes, kids, TV was black and white at that point, and I actually had a black and white TV as a kid. It was old even back then. I mean, it was laughable. I mean, I was just not happy when we had to use the black and white. Especially one time, I had to use the black and white on my Atari. And I know you're gonna be like, Atari, what's that? Atari is a game system, kind of like whatever you guys have now. I'm pretty sure Xbox ain't going nowhere, so some Microsoft product probably be what you'd be calling game system. PlayStation, I don't know if they're going anywhere either. So Sony or Microsoft. But yeah, my Atari, I had to hook it to a black and white that was probably the size of, I'm guessing it was like a 12-inch TV or something. And graphics ain't like graphics a lot better now. So imagine something with no color. Graphic definition is pretty. Yeah, half the time we had to squint. Half the time we ran into the wrong thing or ran into a wall. We think it's like there's a game called Berserk I think it was, and they had these electric walls, and the only way you can tell them because they're a different color from the other walls, so you can't touch them. And yeah, we ran into a couple electric walls, not knowing it was the right wall and stuff like that. So, but yeah, those are the good old days. I'm sure you'll be able to finally look back at your good old days. Right now, you can't at the age you are because hello, you're only 6 months and a year and a half, and you ain't gonna remember none of this. That's why I'm recording these. And for me, these are not the good old days. Even if I make it to 80, this time period is not the good old days. But like I said, when I was a kid, it was the good old days. And even when I was 20, I still finally look back at some of those times, the good old days. But the good old days is your childhood, boys. Embrace it, have fun. Trust me. There's a lot of time for work later. If I have it my way, which I hope I still do, in the whole scheme of things, you will not be working before you finish high school. There's 20, you finish high school at 18, you still got 40 to 60 years of work you can do. Why do that before you're 18? I know you gonna want some money or something. Probably I don't know the new Air Force Ones if they're still around or whoever the big new basketball star. You probably want them shoes and daddy buy them. I'm gonna buy them. I not want you guys working before you're 18 if I can help it because I had to work when I was 16, 17, and I don't know, I still felt I did okay with the after school products. My grades were yeah, I did better in college grade wise. Daddy was a 2.4 high school GPA, and when I got to college, I was on the dean's list. But like so, I'm saying distractions between track and field, football, and other stuff. I just working part time, working full time. I didn't have the time. Um, and I want you guys to have the best you can have. And if again, hopefully, when you read and you're listening to this, if you're in 7 to 10, 11 years old, you take these words of advice and try your best not to double dip your time. It's only 24 hours in a day. You only get a chance to live, be young once, to go to school once. Those grades, well, hopefully those grades don't repeat themselves. Woo, boy, that's a foot in the mouth. I never repeat a grade, but I'm just saying, boy, I hope you guys don't repeat grades. But the only grades I want you to repeat is A's. Okay, repeat A's. Every time you get A, repeat it again. But anyways, I better get going. This is going on 17 minutes. I did tell you that before we got through, I'd probably wake up some because you guys do that to me. Thinking about you guys just I can't stay tired. I can't stay frustrated. I can't stay mad. So I know at the time of this video recording it, I know you guys did not have the best night's sleep. Actually, I messaged saying so, but you guys did get some sleep. Yeah, you had a rough night, but hey, who doesn't sometimes? It's how you recover that's important. So, mm-hmm, double tap. Love you, boys. Talk to you later. Bye bye.